7 men, not governments, not armies, but 7 billionaires now control almost everything you see, hear, and are allowed to think. And every single one of them owns the news that you breathe and swallow every day. Elon Musk, worth $480 billion. Larry Ellison, $278 billion. Jeff Bezos, $250 billion. Bernard Arnault, $210 billion. Sergey Brin, $240 billion. Larry Page, $260 billion. And Mark Zuckerberg, worth $250 billion. They've got $15 trillion between them. And don't get me wrong, I'm a capitalist through and through. But these 7 guys have more wealth than half of humanity combined. But they're not just hoarding cash. They're gobbling up the entire media landscape. Every single one of them owns the news that you swallow every day. Every headline you skim, every post that hijacks your feed, every Netflix and doom scroll binge that numbs your brain. It's all funneled through their golden pipelines. And right now, as we speak, they're tightening the noose on free speech. They're turning journalism into their own personal propaganda machine. They're the gatekeepers of truth and the architects of illusion. They don't just own companies, guys. They own reality. So this is a wake-up call to every one of you out there who is glued to your screens, scrolling through the so-called news that shapes your world. Every single one of them is a media baron, pulling the strings on what you see, hear, and believe. And if we don't wake the hell up, we'll all soon be singing their scripted tune. So in this video, I'm gonna break it all down for you. I'll pull back the curtain on these overlords. We're gonna talk about how they bought the narrative, what it means for the rest of us, and most importantly, what you can do about it now before it's too late. Because they're not coming for your money anymore. They already took it. Now, they're coming for your mind. Sitting at the top of this pyramid scheme of power is Elon Musk, the self-crowned emperor of everything electric and explosive. The guy's worth $480 billion, folks. That's nearly $500 billion. That's enough to buy entire countries and still have change for a joyride to Mars. Back in 2022, he dropped $44 billion on Twitter like it was pocket lint. He rebranded it to X, and he turned it into his own personal megaphone. You thought you owned your timeline, but he bought it. And he's not just owning the platform. He's owning the conversation. He's deciding what trends and what gets buried. And with 60% of young people getting their news from X and TikTok, the one he's angling to snatch via his Oracle puppet, good luck escaping his orbit. Speaking of Oracle, next on the list is Larry Ellison, the Oracle of Oracle. This guy's not content with software empires. He's gobbling up your TV dial. He bankrolled the Skydance crew to snag Paramount Global. That's CBS, MTV, BET, Nickelodeon, Comedy Central, and Showtime. He's gobbling up Warner Brothers Discovery, CNN, HBO, and TNT. He's already a CIA cloud kingpin, and now he's eyeing TikTok like a hawk spotting mice. Folks, he's not just buying media. He's buying your kids' attention and your foreign policy. And sure, it's all voluntary until you realize the options are comply or get canceled. This isn't media, folks. It's a fortress. Next up, we've got Jeff Bezos, the Amazon overlord. If things keep going the way they're going, he'll soon have packages at your door before you even click the order. In case you didn't know, in 2013, he dropped $250 million on the Washington Post and then gutted it. He axed all the real rebel journalists and then he stacked it with war hawks. He scooped up Twitch for $1 billion. That's 7 million streamers under his thumb. Plus MGM for Hollywood hacks, Audible sneaking propaganda into your earbuds, IMDb rating your guilty pleasures, and Business Insider, to name a few. It's all one big content farm now, churning out narratives that keep the elite comfy. Remember when Weibo used to roast Trump? Those days are gone, folks. Because Bezos isn't delivering news. He's delivering his narrative, wrapped in prime packaging. Next up, we've got the Google gods, Larry Page and Sergey Brin. Raking in over 500 billion together, they don't just own search. They own your news diet. They snagged up YouTube for 1.65 billion in 2006. And now, it's where 35% of the world gets their news and facts, pumping out everything from cat videos to curated propaganda. They've got algorithms herding us like digital sheep. Together, they're the gatekeepers of the internet, deciding what trends and what tanks. They terminated my channel in 2020 and stunted my growth, only to give it back to me 6 months ago. And they'll do it again, folks. So if you're watching this exclusively on YouTube, please make sure you subscribe to me on at least one of these platforms that can be found at pressfortruth.ca/subscribe. I would suggest BitChute, Odyssey, and Rumble at the very least. Next, we've got Bernard Arnault, the French fashion kingpin, with LVMH's logo stamped on half of the luxury bags in Paris, and now apparently on France's Free Press. He's got his fingers in Le Parisien, Les Echos, and Paris Match. His fingers are on the pulse of France. He even owns classical radio for the elite's elevator tunes. He's the quiet consolidator, proving that you don't need a rocket to launch an agenda. And last, but certainly not least, we've got Mark Zuckerberg. At 250 billion and climbing, he's the awkward emperor of the social scroll. He owns Facebook, which gets 38% of your news hits, Instagram at 20%, and WhatsApp sneaking in with 5% more. Zuck's feed isn't connection, it's containment. And make no mistake about these 7 men. They're not just rich kids playing mogul. They're Pentagon darlings, fattened on black budget billions. Ellison's Oracle is CIA contractor central. SpaceX, owned by Musk, is launching missiles for the military-industrial meat grinder. Jeff Bezos and Amazon's cloud stores the spy state's secrets. Their wealth explodes on endless wars, and in return, they get to script the news that sells those wars. They fire anchors who question the script and then hire puppets to muzzle dissent. A lot of the information that I got for this video comes from this article, The 7 Richest Billionaires Are All Media Barons, by Alan McLeod, where he also talks about the fact that all of these guys are MAGA mouthpieces for Trump. They're also Pentagon contractors, fulfilling the wishes of the military-industrial complex, and they're all arming and supporting Israel. And none of this is a coincidence. These aren't rivals. This is a cartel. All 7 of them, thick as thieves, with Trump, the Pentagon, and the CIA. So at this point, you must be saying to yourself, okay, Dan, what on earth do we do about this? Well, I want to talk about solutions that you can implement immediately. But just before I do, I wanted to let you know that obviously at Press for Truth, I'm up against a behemoth here in a David versus Goliath battle. So I need your help and support so that I can be a thorn in the side of these 7 men. So today I'm hoping you'll join me on Subscribestar, where you can contribute 5 or 10 or 20 bucks to both show your appreciation for my work, but also to help me fight the good fight moving forward as I continue to navigate this highly controlled news landscape. So if that's something that you would like to do, please check out that top link in the description. All right, guys, let's talk solutions. Solution number 1 is the most obvious, and that's to starve the beast and starve the algorithms. You can starve the beast by deleting the apps. Quit X, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and YouTube cold turkey. The health of your future self, both physically and mentally, will thank you for it. Now, that's sometimes easier said than done for those of us who use these for work. So at the very least, You can starve the algorithms. Quit doom scrolling. They track you even when you're just lurking. Never click recommended videos or posts. Only open links from people you already follow or from outside the app. And never search inside their apps. Use DuckDuckGo, then paste the link into the app only if you must. Searching inside trains the algorithm on what you care about. Turn off your watch history and search history permanently. And never react with emojis. Only reply with text or nothing. Hearts, likes, and angry faces are high value signals for them. Whereas typing in, "this is propaganda," is pretty much of no value to them. But your best option is to stop using the mobile apps altogether and instead use a browser like Brave. All right, solution number 2, switch to open sourced, decentralized alternatives like DuckDuckGo instead of Google, or instead of YouTube, use Odyssey or Bastion. You can find me on both of those at pressfortruth.ca/subscribe. Bastion in particular is so decentralized that it works just like Bitcoin does. With thousands of nodes running all over the world, it's virtually impossible to shut it down or censor it. Solution number 3, fund the resistance and pay for real journalism. $10 a month from a million of us can bankrupt their monopoly. That's cheaper than a Netflix account, but it's actually helping to counter all the propaganda and save the truth. And finally, I'd say it's incredibly important that you refuse to comply. When they demand your data or your silence or your vote, say no. Mass non-compliance is the only language these oligarchs understand. 1984 wasn't a warning, guys. It was their business plan. So wake up, delete the apps, starve their platforms, and break their monopolies. Because if 7 unelected oligarchs own the narrative, then you don't live in a free society anymore. You live in their simulation. So please take 1 minute today to subscribe to me on Subscribestar, where you can join for a monthly reoccurring contribution. You can also do that at pressfortruth.ca/donate by clicking on this Patreon alternative. So thank you so much to everyone who does. You are the resistance, and we can't do this without you. So thanks for watching, guys. Stay vigilant, keep fighting the good fight, and stay tuned. I'm gonna have more video reports coming soon, God willing. This is Dan Dix reporting for Press for Truth. We all want truth. The truth will set you free.